I'm going to start our attention in our feet and take it on up to our head. So in my,
Okay.
hold up my hand. I'm going to hold up my hand as feet. I would like to feel a point on either side of the ball of my foot and on either side of the heel of my foot. So I feel like I'm standing on kind of like 4 feet or a rectangle underneath my feet. So I feel very secure. So I just want to really feel my feet underneath me, feel 4 points in my feet underneath me as a starting point.
Okay, so you're doing that with your feet. You're barefoot actually.
Yes, yoga's nice barefoot, if that's available to you. If it's not available to you, it's okay. And then my energy is going to come up my shins. And then when I get to my knees, I can lift my knees. So my quadriceps are drawing up, and then my core is drawing up, and my chest is lifting up, and the crown of my head is rising up. My shoulders can relax. So it's almost like water's washing up the front of me. And I'm going to turn to talk about the back. Then I want actually the opposite. The energy is drawing down. The muscles are drawing down. My tailbone is lengthening down. Hamstrings drawing down to my heel. So there's like a circuit of energy that rises up in the front and draws down in the back. And we call this Tadasana, or mountain pose, standing really strongly, right? And we honor natural curves in our body. So I have a curve that is my neck curve. I have a curve that is my lumbar spine curve. I curve underneath my glutes. I curve a little bit in my knees, right? If I don't hold them bone straight, I curve a little bit in my knees, curve a little bit at my ankles. So those are the natural curves of the body that we are honoring. And let's just do some sun cells. Now there's something, so I'm going to do a forward fold, and if you don't bow all the way down, you just adjust and you go to where you want to go to, and that's perfectly fine, right? So you know your body and you do what your body likes to do. I'm going to inhale my arms up. I'm going to exhale, and I'm just falling forward, and my head and my neck are really relaxed. I've hinged at the hip, I've bent at the knees. I'll show it to you from the side. And then I'm going to inhale, half lift. I've got a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up, hands in front of my heart. I'll turn to the side and show it to you fully this way, and then I'll show it to you modified. Inhale, my arms are up. Exhale, forward fold. So it's hinge at the hip, knees bend, ankles bend, head drops, nice and relaxed. Inhale, my back of my shoulders and the back of my ribs lifts me up. And hold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands in front of my heart. So beautiful to work with the breath. I'll show you a modified version if I was going to go so far over. I'm going to inhale up. I'm going to exhale to where I'm comfortable. And then inhale and inhale here, so that position doesn't change that much. And then exhale and take myself back up, and inhale, hands in front of my heart. All right. Now let's take a little bit of a break and talk about our head position. So we would like our head to be really floating over our shoulders, kind of in this direction, but also centered in this direction. Some people have a little bit of a tendency for the chin to be reaching up, because life's in front of us, we tend to be here. And one little check I like to do is I'm taking my opposite hand and I'm putting it on my skull. And I'm going to fill my hand with my skull. And so I'm sort of tucking my chin and pushing my head into my hand. And my back of my neck really lengthens there. And then I'll let my hand come down, and I feel more centered here than if I'm here. So it's fairly subtle, but interesting to consider. And then let me talk about the shoulders. So the shoulders are the most mobile joint in our bodies, right? So we can do all kinds of things with our shoulders. But it's nice to have our shoulders, what we call externally rotated, which means my arm bone is in the socket. So a couple of ways to get there. If you, so just roll your shoulders around, kind of relax them a little bit, roll them 3 times going backwards, and then roll them 3 times coming forward. And then I'm going to take my arms up. So I'm going to take my arms up, and it's almost like I was in a plank, but I'm just standing up. Lengthen that tailbone as we've talked about. And then what I want to do is I'm going to push this imaginary floor away and my shoulder blades separate. Then I'm going to let my shoulder blades return to be flat on my back. So I just want to feel the difference between when my shoulder blades are wrapped around under my armpit and when they're settled on my back. So I want to feel that difference first. Next, I'm going to imagine that I'm pulling my thumbs together, but I'm not really moving. It's isometric, so I'm not moving. I'm just imagining I'm pulling my thumbs together. And what that does for me is it really opens my collarbone and settles my arm bone into the socket. And then the last one is the opposite. I'm going to act like I'm pushing my pinkies away, but I'm not going to move at all. And when I push my pinkies away, I feel my shoulder blades really anchor on my back. And then I can lower my arm. So I've invited my shoulders into this really lovely position, right? Because in life, at desk work or whatever, I can end up like this, right? So we've invited our shoulders into a nice position. All right. So having talked about the neck and the shoulders, let's do 3 more sun salutations. Excuse me, you do the version that works best for you. I'm going to inhale up at the top. I could take a little back bend as long as I really lengthen this tail too if I like it, but I don't have to. Exhale forward fold. Everything is always to the person. And inhale, half lift, exhale forward fold, and inhale reverse swan dive. Exhale hands in front of the heart. So I really want everything to always be what suits you, what suits the individual, because you know your body really well. So you follow your instincts. And we will have 1 more sun sal, half sun sal. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Beautiful. I am going to take us down to the ground now. So again, you will follow what works for you. I'm going to inhale. I'm going to exhale. Hinge again the head, bending the knees, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold. I'm going to put my hands down and I'm just going to take my knees back behind me into this all fours position. Now, if I have difficulties with my wrists, I can be on fist here. That would be an option. My knees are underneath my hips. And if my knees are uncomfortable, I could take something to be under my knees. If I wanted to put something under my knees, I could do that. And we're getting ready for cat and cow. So my hands are underneath my shoulders. My knees are underneath my hips. And I'm going to inhale, and my toes are untucked. And so I'm going to inhale, and my belly is filling. My pelvis is tipping up. My shoulders are drawing back towards my hips, and my head is coming up. And then I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to drop my pelvis, drop my head, and draw into a scared cat position. So there's the action. So I'm going to inhale into my cow and exhale into cat. And you can continue at your own pace. So you might actually be slower than me or faster than me. So taking it at your pace. Take 2 more. Beautiful. Now come out neutral. I'm looking right down at the ground. So my neck is in line with my spine. And I'm gonna just notice again the natural curves that I have. So there's a curve in my neck, there's a curve in my lumbar spine, and I wanna lengthen that tailbone, right? So I don't want my tailbone to be stuck up in the air, nor do I want it dropped and into a tilt. I just would like it neutral, so my spine is nice and long. And we're gonna come into bird dog. And let's start bird dog with a little bit easier. So what I want to do is inhale and just lift my right leg up to hip height, and exhale and slide it back in. And inhale, lift my left leg, and exhale and slide it back in. The next level is to add the arm if that's comfortable. I can inhale, opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhale, come back, and inhale and come back. So a couple more just like that. So the torso is really still, it's just the movement of the limbs. Beautiful. So let's come into a child's pose, and which is lovely unless it bothers your knees. I have a crummy knee, but it doesn't bother my knees. I'm gonna pull my toes together and separate my knees a little bit. I'm sending my hips back, reaching my arms forward. I'm gonna drop my forehead onto the mat. So I'm just, my hips tend to go low. Your hips may not go as low as mine, that's okay. You just want to be sending them back. So wherever it is for you is good. And just breathe nice and relaxed, belly against my legs. Beautiful. Let's inhale, come back up. Now we're going to come into down dog. So I'm not sure if that's in your program or not, but I'm going to tuck my toes. And you're breathing naturally here, and then I'll ask for some specific breaths. Let us inhale, and I'm going to lift my knees and then lift my hips and float myself up into down dog. The weight is even in my hands and in my feet. And then I can pedal my legs just to sort of explore how my dog feels today. And then inhale and really lift my hips up and back behind me. Exhale. Let's inhale onto our tippy toes. Exhale, walk forward, forward fold, and take that where it is for you. Head is nice and relaxed. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, and inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands in front of my heart. Now I'm going to take us through 3 full sun salutations, and there'll be lots of choices along the way that make it more moderate or more challenging. So there's choices along the way. So again, inhale, standing nice and tall, and exhale. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. That's familiar pattern. Exhale, forward fold. Put my hands down, and I want to step back to a plank. And then the easiest way to lower myself to the ground, which is my next mission, is to put my knees down and then just kind of bend my arms so I can put my chest on the floor and push myself. So that's the easiest way to bring myself down to the ground. Untuck my toes, my hands are underneath my shoulders. Then I'm going to inhale to come up for cobra, and you can come up as high as I am or be a little bit less high. That's perfectly fine. Exhale to lower myself down. And then tucking my toes, I can come back to all fours and then inhale up to down. Open my mouth and exhale. Inhale, tippy toes. We're going to go back around. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands in front of my heart. And second go round with some variations. I'm going to inhale my arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, put my hands down. Now I want to just take my right knee back behind me, leaving my left knee in front, bent, knee stacked over the ankle. And I've got my back leg at an angle where I can really feel some stretching in this hip flexor. So I'm dropping my hip, stretch this hip flexor here. Inhale here, and then exhale, and I'm going to push my hips back and straighten my front leg. Some hamstring stretch here. Inhale, I'm forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. Inhale and come forward. Place my hands so I can step back to a plank. And if I was happy with the first method to lower that way, the next hardest level would be to put my knees down and be in a half plank and do a half chaturanga, lowering myself down to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down. And I can continue to come through all fours where I can try to push through plank and inhale up to down dog. So again, I'm making a choice that suits me. Open my mouth and exhale. Then I'm going to inhale my right leg up, step my right foot forward, lower my left knee down, and I'm in the same position on the opposite side, knees stacked over ankle, this hip lower down, pushing the hips down to stretch the hip flexor. Inhale here. Exhale. Push back. Inhale forward. Exhale, we call this a half split. And inhale forward. And exhale. Go ahead, half split. And inhale forward. So hands come down, stepping back to plank. So the hardest way to lower myself is just completely to lower myself in full chaturanga. So I'll just demonstrate that, but you're always going to take the method that suits you. Untuck, inhale, cobra. Exhale to lower down, tucking, inhale back up to down dog. Open my mouth and exhale. Inhale, toes, exhale, walking forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of my heart. Great. We'll do one more sun cell that's going to add a balance, an optional balance challenge. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. My hands come down. I step back to plank. Inhale, choosing my method to lower myself. I'm going to exhale and lower myself to the ground. If I want to, I can inhale up into an up dog. Again, optional. Exhale to transition. Inhale up to down dog. Exhale. I'm going to inhale my right leg up. I'm going to step my right foot forward towards my right hand. If it takes me a few steps to get there, that's okay too. And then just feel really organized in my body because I want to inhale up. And this is and put my back foot down at a 45-degree angle. And I'm in warrior one. And exhale, relax everything. My tailbone is long, my chest is elevated. Let's inhale. And then I'm going to exhale forward into my balance pose. And my arms up in the air would be the hardest. I can have my arms here or here. This would be the easiest to do. So wherever I'd like my arms, let's inhale again and exhale. So I'm just trying to lift this foot as much as I can, right? So maybe I just lift it a little bit. Maybe I come forward. Maybe I come into this more of a parallel position, but take what works for you. That's good. And then inhale, we come out of it. Exhale, bend down, and inhale, step back to plank. We'll go around again with the vinyasa flow, lower myself down, inhale, exhale to transition, inhale, up to down dog, exhale. We have the second leg. Left leg comes up, steps me forward, right foot comes down, inhale, organize body up. And I actually happen to have a weakness in my left ankle, excuse me, so I do better with my arms here or here for this ankle. So inhale tall and exhale, just see what you've got. I've got less on this side because of an ankle injury. Beautiful, and then inhale, to come up. Exhale, hands down, inhale, plank. One more time around with this, lowering myself down, untucking, inhale, cobra or up dog, and then exhale and inhale, up to down dog. Exhale. Inhale, tippy toes. We're gonna come to standing. Exhale, walk forward, forward, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of my heart. Beautiful. I'm gonna just keep track of time. Look at the time. It's about when I thought it would be. All right, great. So let's get into some standing work here. So I'm going to start with my feet hip width apart, but I'm going to turn around to make sure the chair pose is clear to you. So I'm hip width apart. I'm going to inhale and grow really tall, long tailbone, hands in front of my heart, Anjali Mudra. And then I'm going to exhale and sink into chair pose. So I can be here, I can be here, I can be here. Wherever chair is for me is great. My feet, the 4 points of my feet are connecting me to the floor. And I'm gonna turn around again. I'm gonna inhale here. I want to exhale. I'm gonna turn my shoulders and my rib cage, maybe hook my elbow on this knee to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turning to the left. And inhale back to center. Great. And then exhale, you can stand all the way up. And we're going to come into a standing series. I'm going to step a little closer to the front of my mat. Inhale and grow tall. I'm going to exhale and step my right leg back, putting that foot down at about a 45-degree angle and open my arms into warrior two. Now with warrior two, very importantly, my hips are where they're comfortable for me. So I'm about here. Some people will be a little bit more here. Some people will be a little bit more here. The most important thing with the hips is that they're comfortable for you. Yoga in the old days used to make the mistake of demanding things of the hips that turned out to not be good for hips. So we've taken that out of yoga. Feel the 4 points in each foot. This knee is stacked over my ankle. This leg is straight. Arms are teed up. Just really feel strong here. Warrior two. Now, your feet might be lined up like this, or you could be on 2 railroad tracks. And again, that's an individual choice of where I am comfortable. So comfort is a key in all of our practices. Let's inhale. When I exhale, I'm going to lift my left arm, which is my front arm, up, and I'm going to look at my left hand and drop my right arm down. And I'm in reverse warrior. Nothing has changed in my legs. Cycle of breath here. Then I'm going to inhale my arms up and straighten my front leg and exhale over into triangle. So I'm going to stay, the upper body is going to stay square to the long edge of my mat. I'm going to reach out like I was trying to find something over here, and then gradually I'll come down and make contact with my leg. And I could be this high, I could be lower, I could be all the way down here. Some people like to put their hands on a block. And just be really open to the long edge of your mat and breathing here. We'll start off looking straight ahead. We'll add a balance feature a little bit later. Beautiful. Inhale to come up, the knee bends again. Exhale back into reverse. And then inhale my arms up. Exhale, just step me forward to the front of the mat. Beautiful. Inhale and grow taller. So I'm consciously going to show you the other side just because it may be useful information. And exhale. Inhale again. Let's exhale and sink into chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, turn to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn to the right. Inhale, center. And exhale to stand up. Inhale to grow taller. Then I'm going to exhale, step my left foot back, bending my front knee. And inhale into warrior two, second side. So you can sort of see my hips suit me, knees stacked over my ankle, back leg is straight, arms are long and reaching. Inhale, I'm looking out over my right hand. Exhale, arm comes up. Look up at my right hand, cycle the breath here. Inhale, my arms up, straighten my leg. Once again, I'm exhaling, reaching, but my torso is lined up with the long edge of my mat. It takes me wherever it takes me. And I'm looking straight ahead. Inhale up and exhale, bending the knee back into reverse warrior. Inhale, my arms up, and exhale, I'll step back to the front of my mat. All right, beautiful. We are going to add on here. So I'm going to inhale nice and tall and exhale and just step right into reverse warrior. So we're going to skip warrior 2. So I'm going to exhale and step right into reverse warrior. So I'm looking up at my hand. Inhale and exhale here. Inhale my arms up, straighten my leg. Let's exhale over into triangle, wherever it is for me. And this time, turn your head and look up at your upper hand. And this has a little balance challenge, which I find useful. Breathing here. Catch up together with an inhale and then an exhale. And then inhale to come back up and exhale to reverse my warrior. Then I'm going to inhale my arms up and turn to the front of the mat. And I'm going to move my foot because that was more comfortable for me to do that. And once we're going to come into a warrior 3 again. And once again, I'm going to make an adjustment for my weaker left ankle. So I'm going to inhale nice and tall and then exhale and see if I can lift this leg. The hips stay square to the mat with the shoulders. And then I can inhale up and exhale right back into my reverse warrior. Inhale my arms up and exhale, step me forward to the front of my mat. Yeah, kind of shake it out a little bit. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, step my left leg back into reverse warrior. Inhale, my arms come up, straighten my leg. Exhale takes me over into triangle. And go ahead and turn my head to look up at my hand. Let's inhale up and exhale to reverse. Inhale to face the front of my mat. And exhale forward into warrior 3. Hips are square and shoulders are square. We adjust as we need to adjust, and inhale up and exhale reverse. Inhale my arms up and exhale. Step me to the front of my mat. All right, good. Relax everything. Let us take classic tree pose. And what I suggest with tree pose is, again, because I'm dealing with a left ankle issue, if I need to have a chair, right, or a wall nearby, just go ahead and take advantage of that. We want to be kind to ourselves as we practice yoga. So let's just first stand here in Tadasana and just kind of restore everything we talked about in the beginning. So the energy is flowing up the top of me, washing over my head and drawing everything down behind me. So I've got this nice cycle of energy, which is my Tadasana. And then let's start with standing on the right foot. So the 4 points of the right foot really establishes me. And then my options for tree are, I'm going to externally rotate my left knee, and I can just have like a little kickstand where my heel is resting on my ankle, but my toes are on the ground, if that's what I need for my balance. If I can balance on one foot, I can pull this foot up and be right on my shin, really making contact between the foot and the leg. And then if I would like to come all the way up, I can lift my leg up. Oops, I lost my balance right away. lift my leg up and be here, right? So that would be the most extreme version of tree, right? So let's pick, and I like hands in Anjali Mudra to start. So you're gonna pick your tree, really lengthen your tailbone, draw your hips in and draw your core up, chest up, right? That really, all this upper body works really supports what's going on with the legs. And then pick your position. I'm gonna pick the medium position for me and breathing here. Beautiful. Step out, maybe kick hand curls and to transition, and then we'll come into second side. So again, for me, I might need a little friend here, although sometimes I use kickstand. So I'm going to inhale, draw everything up and in, right? I need this extra strong because of this weaker ankle. And so as I say, I can kickstand, I can place my foot against my shin, or I can come all the way up and be here, which I can do briefly. So let's pick on the left side, pick your position, Anjali Mudra, and breathing nicely. Continue to lengthen the torso as you breathe. Exhale to step out. So I like to give us a chance to do tree a second time, taking the information we got from doing it the first time. Maybe a sip of water is useful. So restoring your beautiful tall Tadasana. Hands and Anjali Mudra to start. We're going to give a different hand position here as an option. And then picking my leg position for my tree, just come into my breath, hug everything in and feel secure. And if and when I feel secure, I could elevate my arms. And look, I elevate my arms, I'm shaky, but I'm working on it. Inhale to step out. And getting organized for second side, really feeling those 4 points underneath my left foot. Starting in Anjali Mudra, picking the foot position. This is externally rotated. And then if I feel good, I can float my arms up. So really drawing the core up and in, hugging the hips, lifting the chest, lifting the crown. Floating up towards the ceiling. Exhale to step. All right, beautiful. We're going to come down to the ground. We've got some more to do as we gradually take ourselves towards Savasana. Let's inhale our arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And just take my knees behind me and turn around and stretch my legs out. I'd like to sit up nice and full. And an option, if I happen to be somebody who's a little bit more like this, an option is to take a blanket or something or roll up the mat and just kind of elevate my hips a little bit, can sometimes take that curve out of the spine if I have that. And let's reach our arms forward, and I'm going to flex my hands and flex my feet, then point both and flex both. So let's give our wrists and our ankles a little bit of a break after the work of the practice. Beautiful. And I do need a, oh no, I think we're okay. Good. Slight time check. All right, so let's take a nice twist here. So I'm going to show it to you from a couple of angles. I'm going to take my left leg and bring it in, and either it stays inside my knee, depending on me, or I could cross it over. So however I'd like to do it is fine. And then I'm going to inhale my arms up, and I'm gonna exhale, and I'm gonna rotate around, and I'm wrapping my right arm around my left leg and reaching my left arm behind me, and I'm looking back behind me. So it's a nice twist, really great for digestion, feels good in the leg and hip structure. Inhale to come out, lengthen, be nice and tall, and then take the other leg in, catching up with our breath. Let's inhale and exhale and take the twist in the other direction and breathing here. Inhale to come back around. Now, I'm going to invite us into gate pose, which is kneeling on my knees. So once again, if this was troublesome for me at all, I could put a towel or a blanket underneath my knees. And I'm going to inhale nice and tall. Same thing, long tailbone, drawing everything in. I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to take my right leg out, just right to the side. Inhale my arms up, and I'm going to take a side stretch. Exhale, coming over towards the, so my right arm is on my leg, my left arm is reaching, my left knee is really planted on the floor. I'm going to take a side stretch here. Then I'm going to inhale my arms up, and this is going to come into a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to exhale and put my hand on the ground, teeing my other arm up. So this is a little bit of a partial arm balance, but I'm on my knees. So here is a supported side plank. That's your sasana, supported side plank. So just breathe here. And then inhale and come up. Exhale, take that knee in. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, take the opposite leg out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, side stretch towards the leg. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, drop the hand down and just be in this supported side plank. So this is supported side plank. I will just demo for you. This is full side plank, right? So we're doing supported side plank right now. Good. Then I can inhale and come up. And now we're ready to come on our back. So let's come supine. So I'm going to sit, and starting with my knees bent, when I lower myself, I want to lower with the control of my core down to the mat and head comfortable. And let's stretch our legs out first and just be here for a moment. See if you can really drop your shoulders back towards the mat so they are extremely rotated as we talked about. And just take a little tour in your mind's eye and notice the curves of your body in this supine position. And you could even flex your feet if you want to have a little bit of a sense of what it would be like to stand, because we are essentially in a position just like standing. And I do want my tailbone to be long so that I feel a lifting of this core, even as I lie. Beautiful. Then slide my feet in. I want my feet to come in underneath my knees. And if I reach down with my hands, I can touch my hands. So I know I'm in a good position to be supported for bridge pose, which is what we're doing next. So my arms are long by my side. I'm going to move arms and lower body. So I'm going to push my feet down. My hands are going to float up. My hamstrings, quadriceps, glutes, and core are lifting me up, and I'm going to float my arms up and overhead. My chest chases my chin at the top. Then I'm going to exhale and float back down. Let's keep going just like that. So I'm going to inhale up. Exhale down. Keep that going at your pace. my left. And one more. Beautiful. Now, I'd like to invite us into, so I do, right before Savasana, we're gonna do something relaxing and with a twist. So what I'd like you to do is lengthen your legs. We're gonna do reclined tree today. So what I wanna do is I'm stretched out and I'm gonna slide my right foot along my left leg. And let's come up to the upper position and my right knee is externally rotated, but I'm gonna invite the left hip to stay down as opposed to rolling towards the knee. So settle in there and however you like to settle in there. I've got my hands on my hips. You don't have to. You can be, your arms could be out or down by your side, wherever you like your arms to be. And let's just breathe here in this reclined tree position. Again, if you want more of a feeling of standing, you could flex the left foot and reach the left heel, but it isn't essential. I'm more interested in moving towards relaxation now and letting the body integrate our practice. So just breathing deeply, using your diaphragm so you can feel the expansion of your ribs on the inhalation and the contraction of your ribs on the exhalation. One more inhalation here. The exhalation. And then on the next inhalation, I'm going to put my right foot on the floor, my knee straight up. I'm going to take my left hand and grab my right knee. And now I'm going to come into a twist. So my hand is going to push my right knee over towards the floor over on the left side. And I'm going to tee out my right arm and I'm going to turn my head to complete the spinal twist and look out over my right hand. And breathe here. Inhale here. And exhale. Then inhale and come back to center. Exhale, lengthening your right leg. Maybe pedal your legs a little bit here. Then catching up with our breath, let's inhale and float our left foot up along our right leg, externally rotating the left knee, leaving the right hip on the ground. And let's come into our deep breath here. Just with an inhale, to put my left foot down on the ground, take my right hand, touch my left knee, and let's exhale and come into the twist. So I'm pulling my left knee over towards the right, and then I'm going to stretch out my left arm and turn my head. And hopefully my left shoulder can settle on the floor or be closer to the floor, and just breathe here in this twist. Inhale, comes back in. Exhale to lengthen out. Maybe I pedal a little bit. And let's get a happy baby. So we're moving towards Savasana. So you could hug your knees in, maybe grab your feet. So this would be kind of classic happy baby. And sometimes I kick a little bit here, but whatever you want to do, and you can take any other pose that your body's asking you for before Savasana and just breathing. And then when you feel ready, we will lengthen our legs. And I've got two options for the arms. So when I think of the curves of my body, lengthen my tailbone underneath me, I can place my arms down by my side with my palms up, and that just invites the shoulders to externally rotate nicely. And once I've done that, if I felt like putting a hand on my heart, another hand on my belly, I also like this position. Whatever you like, your feet are super relaxed. And then just come into your breath. Deepening the inhalation. Deepening the exhalation. We're going to be here just for a few moments of stillness. And I invite you to just sort of tour your posture as you do this. You can take in anything you've noticed about your standing position, curves of your body, position of your head, position of your shoulders. Position of your pelvis, which we talked about a little bit less. Just using my mind's eye to notice. With a few moments of stillness for Savasana. And deep your breath. My fingers and let the wiggling grow into stretching of my limbs. And then let's roll over onto one side or another. Now, if you're watching this on a video at home, you can stay into a longer Savasana if you like. You're coming on your side. Your head is on your lower arm. Your top arm is just on the floor. Your legs are stacked, and just feel it. Take another moment of rest here, just feeling really comfortable. And then to come up, I'm gonna reach my top leg, push with my top arm, and float myself up and come to a seated position. So this is the first time we've sat in our practice. I want to be on my sits bones and step right above, floating. So ears over shoulders, shoulders are over hips, just feeling that position. Sometimes I get and I don't even realize that I'm leaning forward a little bit, right? So kind of seeing if that happens to be true for you. And let's just share 3 simple breaths together as a way to conclude our practice. So let's inhale through our nostrils and open our mouth and have a nice sigh, sigh it out. Relax everything, inhale and sigh it out. And sigh. Thank you for joining me for this posture practice this morning. Namaste.